In today's video, we will have a look at how you can learn trading for yourself with these simple 3 rules. Now let us start with the first one, which is your personal circumstances. And for that, you have to understand that trading is a very individual sport. And what do I mean by that? Well, just because a strategy works for one person doesn't mean it works for anyone else, really. And I will give you an example to really exemplify this, because this is a concept in trading that you have to understand, and it's very important, and it's one of the most basic things you have to understand when trading. And the very easy example I will give is, and by the way, no one trades like the things I'm about to say, but it's just as an example. Let's say someone looks at this chart and they're like, well, you have whatever day structure make of this, and then whatever corrective day structure make of this, and they say like, whenever this happens, I will buy and I will hold until I'm about 30% in profit, which is about here, or I will hold until I'm about 6% at a loss, which would be around here, and then here I would sell, and here I would also sell, something like this. Now, this strategy, I don't think it would ever work in the way I just described it. But just as an example, we'll get to the perfect system in a second step, so stick around and keep watching for that. But the reason why this might be a good system for this person is because this might be a beginner trader. This might be someone who has never, ever traded in their entire life. So this might be the first system they have. They're just sort of trying out what they're doing. And there's so many important variables that come to play here. And then there could be simple things like, maybe they don't even use leverage. So maybe they said they don't use leverage. So even if prices go down here, they could, for example, just hold whatever they bought. In this case, we're looking at Bitcoin, and then wait until it goes up eventually. That is one variable of the strategy. Sorry, I can't pronounce that. Another would be that different people have different goals. Maybe this person doesn't have the goal that they sustain their livelihood with this money. Someone else might be, well, they need this money to live. Someone else is just doing it for fun. People are doing it more serious, less serious, more leverage, less leverage, more risk tolerance. All of these things are a big factor in trading, and you have to understand it. And that is exactly why something like copy trading, or just basically copying what someone else is doing one-to-one, is very risky, because that would mean you have to have the exact same personal circumstances, as in you have to have a similar amount of money to your name, a similar amount of risk tolerance, a similar amount of money you can afford to actually lose. All of these things have to be the same for you to be able to copy them. And that brings me to the second point, which is the perfect system. And I will show you what we use here. And just to take it away, there is no perfect system. The secret ingredient I will outline in step 3 sort of highlights this further, so keep watching for that as well. But there is no perfect system. A system we use is called Elliott waves, and it is something like this. It basically just counts the structure of the chart, so you know, and you have a framework of where you can enter and where you can exit. This goes something like this. On this chart, it would be something like this, that you count the structure of this, it would be wave 1, it would be wave 2, 3, 4, 5. We have an entire video on this channel outlining how you can trade with Elliott wave, but that is not really relevant for this video right now. It's just showing you how we would approach this chart, and it would be something like this. Let me just draw it on the chart, write this. So you have a very important and a very good structure, which is basically not proven by science, but it is just a good overall structure, which many people use and are very profitable with it. And why is this relevant, and why is this good? Well, this is good for people who like to have an easy to see and just an easy to grasp structure, because you can say here at this point, well, this is our wave 2, and there's probably a lot more price action going to happen afterwards, and the risk is low, and this and this and this and this, and all of these things. Now, what you could also be saying is that you're trading like this, and you, well, just ignore these numbers for a second. You're looking at the chart, and you have defined that this is the support level that you're looking at, and you're like, well, it's probably going to bounce here, and then I'm going to define a new support level, which is coming off this line, and wow, and then again we bounced here. And there's different scenarios, there's different ways you can trade, and they give you different things. They give you different types of certainty, they give you different types of key levels where you can turn, and they're different for how you like to trade. And this basically goes back to your personality to some extent, because if you're someone who doesn't like risk that much, if you're someone who likes to plan more into the future on a longer term basis, and someone who would like to understand the underlying structure more, then something like Elliott waves might be good. If you say you look at the chart every day for 5 hours, so basically at any point in time you know what the price is doing, Elliott waves might not be the best thing that you could be using, because this system is not very reliant if you're on a really small time frame. This is good if you're doing something like scalping or longer term investing, where you are in a trade for days or weeks or months. This is also one part of the first step. Some people are in trades for literal minutes, and some people are in trades for years. And that's also why you can't really copy an entry or an exit point, because this might be a really good entry point if you're in the trade for, what is it in this example? If you're in this trade for like 3 months. If you're in this trade, however, for let's say 6 months, you don't know what happens on the line. It might be a really bad trade. So that is also an important factor to keep in mind. Now, let's get to the secret ingredient. And spoiler alert, there is no secret ingredient in trading. As with everything in life, there is no secret. Usually, there's not really anything that is secretive about being successful. You just have to learn, and you have to make a system for yourself that works for yourself. You have to work hard, you have to show up every day, you have to have a certain mindset, you have to be able to control yourself, and I will dive into that more in a second. But you can't really do anything secretive. You have to understand trading is not a way to make money fast. It always looks so easy. Just buy down here, sell up here, you make whatever the difference is. Let me just calculate it for this example. You make 40%, you have almost made 50%. If you do this 3 times, you have more than doubled your money. That's always thing what people say, but it's just not that easy. And the chance that you buy down here and sell up here are very slim. They're basically marginal. The best traders in the world cannot make trades that are that accurate on a consistent basis. It's just very hard. You have to be able to control your emotions. You have to make a system for yourself that works. You have to understand and reflect yourself. You have to understand what you do. You have to not get greedy. You have to not get fearful. All of these things factor in when you're doing this. And at this point, I want to highlight that we offer a trading course, and we show you how exactly you can learn these things. We have years of market experience. We also have made other videos if you're interested how you can analyze a chart, for example. We include a psychology-based trading course, Bitcoin and Ethereum chart analysis. So we are basically analyzing the chart and giving you our updates very frequently, a trading strategy. And of course, as I've outlined, this is not a one you can exactly copy, because that doesn't make any sense. However, it can help you start into your trading journey and get a sense of what you maybe need to know, and maybe what things you need to be doing to have a good strategy. And we also give trading signals about every time when we trade. We currently have a start of year sale for basically 10 euros off for these 2 tiers and 21 euros off for the highest tier. This is going until the end of January. So if you're starting your trading journey in 2025, then feel free to check out this website. I think with that, enough is said. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the description, in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.